Hello, this is Crypto Neptune, and in this video, we're going to talk about the post-chain gains theory part 2 and why I feel post-chain assets will continue to pump. Remember, nothing I say is financial advice, only use risk capital, and thank you to those who continue to support the channel. Conviction. Conviction is a word that we often kind of throw around, but it comes to fruition just having conviction in something. And this is crazy, guys. This is like over the last 30 days with PulseChain. Look at these numbers. PLS is up 74.92%. PLSX is up 115 plus percent. Inc is up 83.20%. PHEX is up 378% over the last 30 days. And it actually, it's just been outperforming everything. Like PHEX has really just been on a nice run. And let's go look at some of the recent tweets from Richard Hart. And a lot of it with the conviction too is kind of believing in someone and believing in the vision of Richard Hart. I mean, this guy, he's done it once before with Hex on Ethereum. He had that nice run up with Hex on Ethereum, and he has a way to know how to put these things together to have a thriving ecosystem. But he writes here on October 3rd, PLS is up 2x in Ethereum in 3 months. And then, he's flexing here. He says Hex is up 15% today. Cool. So he's pretty happy about that. But remember, Richard, he said with PHEX, he said, guys, switch over to PHEX because we know it's going to run up. Not saying that EHEX is not going to have that run up, but the potential for more gains could potentially be on PHEX. But again, it seems like he's right in what he's saying. It's just been absolutely ripping. And then what does he say here? Hex is up 5x in 25 days, 24% just today. So a lot to be kind of excited about with what's going on with Hex. And then again, believing in somebody like Richard Hart who wants a true decentralized system, having conviction in the assets on PulseChain, in particular those core 4 coins, but also there's other coins within the PulseChain ecosystem we need to be paying attention to too. So going over here, let's look at Hex first. So Hex over the last 24 hours is up 8.91% and is getting closer to 2 cents. I would not be shocked if that happens within the next couple of days or so, but it's definitely going to be 2 cents. And again, what else are you going to need? You're going to need that buy pressure. Like we've mentioned, conviction, buy pressure. We flipped the script, 3.8 million in buy pressure and 3.2 million in sell pressure. So 7.1 million in volume over the last 24 hours. And then let's look for any conviction buys. Let's see. Somebody took some profits here. There's a conviction buy for over 10 grand. Almost 7 grand here. 19,000. So $19,749.57. So over a million Hex bought just in one lump there. 18,000. 17,000. So this is 925K worth of Hex. So now, there's going to be some volatility with people taking profits and stuff like that, but you're seeing some being healthy, being able to swap in and out of trades. And here's the cool thing about this too. When you have this much liquidity, 34.9 million in liquidity, look at this. It barely moves the price. That's another thing. It barely even moves the price. But the good news is we have more buy pressure than sell pressure, as we mentioned. But look at all this: 23K, 27K, 27K. Yeah, those are different wallets. So if you don't think people are not paying attention to Hex and not paying attention to PulseChain as a whole, you have another thing coming. They are definitely paying attention. Heavy volatility, but the cool thing is very, very little price impact, which we love to see. And let's go to PLS. So let's take a quick look here. So just a slight little bit of improvement there, 0.77% over the last 24 hours. And then the buy pressure versus the sell pressure, 2.9 million versus 2.8 million. So that's what we're seeing there. And with PLS, we already know this is the gas token. So there's going to be a need for this. So could you potentially see some gains with PLS, but continuing between now and going into 2025? And I definitely believe so. Can we like lose maybe a couple of zeros? Anything is possible with Richard Hart. I mean, he is a wizard, and I think we're all going to go on that magic carpet ride. But again, 34.5 million here in liquidity. This is crazy, guys, to have this much liquidity and the price kind of just barely move. But here's a 14K buy here of PLS, and then 23K, 27K, so 479 million plus PLS bought. But you get the point there, as far as continuing to have conviction, coupled with having some of that buy pressure. And what else are you going to need in order for people to bridge over to PulseChain? It's like I said before, it's these undervalued assets. I mean, that's the main thing, is having these undervalued, right? Having these undervalued assets. And that's what you're looking for. You're looking for a layer one solution that's fairly new. It's only been out since last year, in which you can buy at the bottom and essentially see the price rise. And we're still, even with this huge swing, swings here over the last 30 plus days or so, this is still actually the bottom. This is still, in my opinion, like good entries. Like $2.70 for ink. And many have predicted with ink that this could potentially go well over $100. I know it's going to definitely go past its all-time high of $80. It's going to far exceed that, because this is the one where it has the lowest market cap, but has that potential to absolutely send. And people is down 3.53%. So what people are realizing is, hey, I need to just go ahead and buy some on a red day. And this is what happened. 9K here, 10K, 21K worth of ink. Another 5,000 worth of ink. And again, we got some nice healthy sales in and out of the trades here, 13K. So that's over 5,000 worth of ink. Another here, $11,538 worth of incentive tokens. So 4,142 ink that was just bought here. So you get the point, far as finding the undervalued assets on PulseChain and essentially, DCAing into those particular assets. So did we look at PulseX? I'm not sure if we looked at PulseX, but let's look at PulseX. PulseX up 1.84% over the last 24 hours, 1.6 million in buy volume, and again 1.3 million in sell volume. And then, again, this is a DEX token, which is deflationary. So this is PulseX is deflationary. It has that burn in it. And imagine when volume really kicks in and you have a bag of it. It's going to pretty soon, at some point, even to just have a million of this, even just having a million of this is going to be impossible to even hold that amount it's going to be impossible for people to get, I mean, in the future. So grabbing some now at these basement prices. And again, we've been on a huge run up. It's been crazy on PulseChain. Sentiment has been pretty high. But let's look and see more. Look for more conviction buys. 10 grand here, 7 grand here, 21K. So somebody bought 599 million plus worth of PulseX. Wow. I mean, this is this here definitely is when there's like generational wealth because you just went in absolutely heavy. And again, this is a truly decentralized system, no venture capitalists with PulseChain, as the community gets a huge say so on where this is going. And we talked about conviction, we talked about buy pressure, we talked about Richard Hart and the genius in Richard Hart. We haven't even had the, and here's another one, 24K here. So you get the point as far as those conviction buys. But guys, we haven't even had the Ethereum impact yet. That hasn't even started. So imagine when Ethereum just kind of decides to go on the run and do what it wants to do. It's going to get a little crazy. And then a couple of these we'll look at real quick. We look at Bear. Bear is up 11.29% over the last 24 hours. So it's sitting at a $22.9 million market cap. Again, this is a severely undervalued, this meme coin, severely undervalued. And what's going to happen? Everything on PulseChain is undervalued. They're going to look for the top meme coins on PulseChain. And it's been Teddy Bear, for one, has been just kind of trending in that top forever. So Bear, still a good entry at this market cap. That's fairly low, but once DGens come over, they're going to be looking for the meme coins, and Teddy Bear will be in the running to look at. PTGC, this one, I don't have a bag of this one, but this one has been ripping. So shouts out to N and B Roots. They've been really pushing this one. They've been pushing it. It's just been ripping and ripping and ripping. And it just kind of continues to go up. So huge props to them. This is up 12.93% over the last 24 hours. And let's see if we can we find wrapped Bitcoin? I wonder if I can find it in here. We got wrapped Bitcoin here. This one is another one. That's again the other thing is finding those assets to peg. Those assets to peg like wrapped BTC, like PDI. This is another one. It's $205.55. Even if it doesn't get to hit a peg, let's say it gets to like 2 grand, it gets to 5 grand, 10 grand. There's still a big opportunity here, but the way Richard Hart has everything built and potentially having PDI pegged to $1, I think once that happens, it's just going to be so crazy on PulseChain, guys. Let's go. Let's see. Oh, here it is, DAI. Yep, last one I'm going to talk about is DAI here. This one, $95.3 million market cap, up 8%, and many feel, and there is on-chain evidence of potentially getting this pegged to $1. We've seen the wallet. We've talked about it on my channel before, but long story short is if DAI, not if, but when DAI pegs, it's just going to send everything up because PDI is essentially, it is pegged to is liquidity bonded to like a lot of coins on PulseChain. And this is going to be the magic carpet ride where everybody just bridges over. They're going to be seeing so much massive gains on PulseChain that everybody is just in their mama is going to want to bridge over. And if you remember, guys, for those who are not in PulseChain, get you some PLS. You can swap your PLS for a lot of these assets that I talked about on GoPulse.com or on PulseX. But you can come here, you can swap and get your coins. But pretty much that's kind of how it goes. But you can come over here to GoPulse and get your PLS, and then swap the PLS into whatever asset you want that I talked about today. So in this video, that's essentially it. We talked about the conviction. We talked about the buy pressure, the huge, insane run up over the last 90 days for richer hardcore coins, and then everything else just kind of pulling with it. And last but not, and also too, we talked about those undervalued assets with the potential to peg, like DAI, like Wrap Bitcoin. So a lot to be excited about with PulseChain as a whole in the future. I want to thank you for listening, and thanks for stopping by.